up till I'm on top.
Yo,
yeah.
no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here at Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. You already know your final destination to get all that last-minute breaking news, trends, angles, analysis, cash flow splits, injury updates, and anything else that we can find to create an edge to cash more winning tickets. Thank you guys all for joining today. It's been a busy day around the Sports Money way. You guys, hopefully you're checking out what's going on with my man Ramon Scott in the morning steam, 9 a.m. every single day, 7 days a week. This guy coming at you live out of Vegas, giving you where the sharps are at, where the steam is coming in, consensus reports, and everything else. Man, they added some UCL, some Champions League soccer out there now. We're covering everything. We're covering everything but badminton and water polo. And we might have a guy for water polo. It's probably Ramon, for all I know. It's probably Ramon that covers water polo. That guy covers it all, man, but it's been a lot of fun today. Prepping, shooting college football videos. Yeah, we got a name for that show now. I kind of did it on the fly last week. I didn't like it. Got to be some clear separation here. You know, pre-gaming college style. Ain't going to do it. It's breaking the huddle. Breaking the huddle. 6 plays for you guys across college football landscape. And a nice juicy parlay in there. Just a little sprinkle. A little fun to close it off. I told you guys. I had a 13 slate card. I had to trim it down. So I picked my 6. Then I added the other 7 into a parlay. 38-1, I think, was the number. Hopefully we can get all of those home for us here. But, you know, the parlays are always a little sprinkle fun, a little something to cover all the ground. You know, covering fire, will we go into surgically hammer away on those 6 plays that are laid out there for you guys. And we've got college football tonight. We already talked about this game earlier this week. Hopefully you paid attention and caught the best number that was out there. We've got a breakdown between Major League Baseball. We'll talk college football. We'll talk WNBA, and we'll talk Thursday night football, the big game, because we got a big live stream. Razor, Sharp, and the Sports Money crew getting together to bring it to you guys as only we can. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of joking around. I was going to say ball breaking, but whatever. A lot of razzing each other. How about that? I'll say that. A lot of razzing each other. Give me a lot of shots. The bottles are all ready. The ice is being made. You guys know what we do on Thursday night football. And we have no UFC on Saturday. So why not come in tonight? It's the bridge to the weekend. We'll get through it, get you guys set up for a Friday, and then Friday leads us right into a glorious weekend of football, both the NFL and college football. You know, tomorrow we'll be shooting the NFL prop shop. Yeah, my guy and I, you know, we split them last week. We split them. So, it's okay. It's okay. Just getting the footing. Just trying to get that secure footing so that we can go kick some ass and take some names. And speaking of kicking ass and taking names, shout out to my dude, Subhuman Gaucho. Big day today on the pitch. He shared all that action with you guys over there on X. It's getting confusing for me. You guys got to make sure you take the time to migrate on over to the Sports Money Wins page at X, because I'm trying to move everything over to there so that everything's kind of centralized and consolidated out of one spot for you guys to figure out where those plays be at. That's what it's all about as we continue to grow. I told you before, we're getting the plane in the air. We'll fix the wings while we're flying the damn thing. And it's all going to be a lot of fun as we continue to grow. So who knows? Who knows what the next, I'll tell you what, I was going to say, who knows what the next shows are here, but we're down to 19 days before the first puck drop in the NHL. Then we got the NBA coming along after that. Busy time to be a part of what's happening here at Sports Money. And, you know, I've said it before, obviously, you know, the likes are super important. We appreciate you guys. If you like what you hear, take the time to smash the like button. We are member supported. Lots of need for you guys to be a part of this community that we're building here. If you haven't gotten green already, look, a couple different options. We're getting closer and closer to, having this thing all wrapped up and figured out. So they're going to start seeing some member-only plays starting this weekend. There will be some member-only plays. But listen, tons of action out there for everybody, regardless. If you like what we're doing, if you want to help support it, that's how we can keep the lights on. It's a net loss right now, and that's fine. I mean, we're making our money gambling, but want to keep bringing you guys more shows, more people. Shit, we are almost 24/7 at this point, and it feels like it sometimes. I go, where the hell did the time go? So thank you guys all for coming in. Again, smash that thumbs up button. You know the deal. Get your pen and paper out. Not just me on screen today, but we bring in Miggity Mac Daddy for a Thursday special. He's going to be rolling with us. You already know the deal out there. It's Thursday. Love to get C-Mac in here to talk about what's happening in the world of sports. He's got that college football show out there hitting the books. Got lots of action for you guys to get to the window. All kinds of breakdowns, analysis. No matter who or how you like it broken down, there's something for everybody out there with the crew that we roll with. So make sure you go support my guy. He'll be on here shortly, and we're going to get into action. So not only do the pen and paper for the panel, but the chat is the sharpest chat in the business. They all assemble here, right up to the wire to give you guys their best looks as well. Best bets galore. And man, it has been just a monstrosity of winners. You guys have been doing a great job coming up with your looks, angles, analysis. We're all working together with the same common enemy, and that's the bookies. Let's beat them bookies. Let's do it together. Let's continue the successful run that we've had, and let's find a way to make some money tonight. We have a smaller baseball card, truncated here. Not a full breakdown between all the sports. We'll talk about them each individually and tell you the place that we're on, but we're going to cover that Red Sox and Tampa game, the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, the Phillies and the Mets, the Pirates and the Cardinals, the Nats and the Cubs, and the Angels and the Astros. I've got action in all but the first two games. I almost made a play on that Diamondbacks Brewers game, but I did not, because I did jump into the WNBA. I've made some plays in the WNBA out there. This is a tricky spot. This is the last day of the season for the WNBA, so trying to find a way to thread the needle ain't going to be easy. I kind of flip-flop back and forth on that Lynx game. I caught the L last time with the Sparks. I thought, well, it's their last home game. Maybe they'll show something. We got hooked. They lost by 4. We had 3.5. So kind of want to go back to them here, but I see cash coming in on these Lynx. I don't understand it. As I mentioned, college football. We got a little Sun Belt action tonight. Got a little South Alabama in your lives here. The spot you didn't know you needed until you needed it, and now we got it. South Alabama, Appy State pop off at 7:30 on ESPN. So we'll talk about that game in advance here. Again, I already gave you guys the look there. We'll talk about the current numbers. We'll talk about potential strategy to live bet from the college guru himself, star of hitting the books, Connor Miggity Mac Daddy, going to talk to us about that game. And of course, look at divisional battle, New England Patriots, New York Jets. I'm going to tell you what, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I said that last week. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I just don't like his attitude. He's very cavalier. I mean, shit, I was listening to him talk yesterday. Now, he does like primetime games. I did tell you guys that last time he was playing in the primetime slot. He commented again, I love the night games. But he's kind of just shitting on Thursdays. Not a lot of people like these Thursday games. We'll see if we can get in and out of here. Everybody likes the long weekend after the Thursday games. We'll talk about that game. I'm very eager to hear what Connor Miggity Mac has to say here. Guys, get your best bets out there in the chat. Let's round the horn. Let's get the butt rubbing out of the way so we can figure out a way to get paid tonight. Let's see what's going on out there. My man, Joe T, the Up Gear Under play of the day. He's giving you guys the Pats and the Jets 4+ field goals. I know he's waiting right now. I know he's sweating out this, and he's not sweating it out anymore. He's not sweating it out anymore. The Dodgers and Marlins goes over. I know he was all over that play today. So shout out to my guy, Joe T. Big winner, and he's giving you guys 4+ field goals in the Thursday night football battle between the Patriots and the Jets, followed by guy Joe_T 2010 over there on X. Catch his plays as well. You always can find him in the community section of Sports Money, keeping it all moving in the right way for us there. Shout out to NJ Stryker. Justin McCalvey says sports money is money. I like that. I feel like we're borrowing it from somebody, but I mean, listen, no, nobody really does it better than us. Anyways, let's go. Shout out to Talk Sports with JT. He says, what's up, Mikey? He's got Hunter Henry, under 34.5 receiving yards. He's got Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown at plus 120. And Garrett Wilson, under 5.5 receptions. I got two of those props, or two props with those players in my action tonight. Shout out to Juggler 23. You guys know the deal, man. This guy comes in with the trends, giving us paid. Says teams off an overtime game with 4 days of rest or less versus a foe not off an overtime game are 3-23. Makes a lot of sense. Kind of gassed out, right? Teams off of overtime get gassed out. And then the team that they're playing not off of overtime finds a way to go out there and gas them. I get that. Get that a lot. Says, however, a division game with, here's a layer to it. A home team laying 6.5, and most people I talk to are on the Jets. I'm bucking the trend and taking the points, says my dude, Juggler 23. David Wallace. Like anybody like a Gibson touchdown for plus 400? Shout out to Trisha M in the house. Says, I think these Marlins just lining our pockets. Let's go. Tarek B says, let's make it a good. Give me the Diamondbacks and the Mets. Patriots team total under 16.5. And Juggler says, the Marlins treating you well. The overs have just been on fire in that Miami series out there. Man, the last couple of series. Let's go. Trisha M's getting some love in the chat. Love to see that, man. Love to see the community growing. Talk Sports with JT says Ohtani was close at his first at bat. Interesting that some of the comments coming out around Ohtani potentially pitching in the playoffs. Well, thought he was done for the year, but it'll be interesting to see. There's Sept. Says Evening Sports Money Network. Hope everyone is doing well. Almost Friday. Let's go. Van Polo. How did you activate the join button if you have 100,000 subs? Generally asking because I'm struggling on my other channel. Maybe I shouldn't have read it like that. Maybe I should have said because I'm struggling on my other channel. Van Polo, hit me up, man. We'll talk. We can talk. Get her going, baby. Fastest growing opportunities out there here on the social media Twitter sphere. Keith says, what up, Mike? It's Thirsty Thursday, and let's make that money. Man, talk about more content for you guys out there. Make sure you check out Keith. I liked and reposted his video for getting his best bets on Saturday. Got a little horse racing action on Saturday, so check him out over there. Oldie says, what up, Unc? Let's get this cash. What up, nephew? What up, nephew? Let's go. Let's go. Trisha M. shouting him out. Says, cheeseburger delivered already. Man, I could have a cheeseburger. I could certainly eat a cheeseburger. Talk Sports with JT in the house. Says Harris, over 1.5 bases. Naylor, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Only bet I had so far today, waiting for the NFL tonight. There's my guy, Real Deal Prime. Says red finger number 1. Hit that like button, I think is what he's trying to say out there. Crystal Craig, great to see Crystal Craig. Here we go. Crystal Craig got some action for us. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. I cashed Chris Sale win. And Max Muncy over hits, runs, and RBIs. Off to a good start for Crystal. Good job. Shout out to Troy Torrance. So, Mike, I'm doing the right thing. What's up, Troy? It's good to see you, my brother. Big Cubs game for you tonight. I'll tell you what I think the right thing is there. Mario's in the house. What up, Mario Barrios? 420. J Main. I love seeing these names, man. Appreciate Troy. It's his first time I've had a chance to check in. Brother, appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time, man. I know you guys got a lot of things happening, so anytime you can stop out of the day and say, hey, certainly appreciate seeing you out there. So appreciate you, my dude. Let's go, man. Everyone's got so much going on. It's so much fun. So much fun seeing this community grow and flourish, develop this under 19.5 total score in the first half. Like a slow starting game for the Futon bets. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? AR under Pirates. Not sure what that means. Pirates? AR. I don't know. I'm half shot from from digging through the weeds in college football. J-Man says, what do you think about the Jets travel situation? We will talk about this game for sure. Shout out to AOD. Shout out to Joseph Alvarado. The real Jolly Roger says, bet the Jets with caution. Hard Rock has boost on the Jets. Let's go. Yep, there we go. Joe T got his over. I told you. I shouted you out. Let's go. Scott Blaster in the house likes the Diamondbacks money line. And Razor Sharp Picks says it's Thursday. You know what that means. Does it mean? Wait. I know. The best goddamn live crew in the business to do it's rolling out again. Guys, get fucking ready. It's going to be fire. I've got a same game parlay that I'm going to put together tonight as well that I'm feeling pretty good about, but I'm going to talk to you guys about some of those sides, some of those props, some of those totals, and everything else that goes along with it. So let's go. Let's get into some action here. Let's see what we have going on. I know our guy will be here. He will be ready to go. But like I said, you guys, Thursdays, a little more informal cruise around the bay here. But let's start off with the MLB. I guess it's out there on the side. My reluctance to talk about it, but we've got the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Red Sox open up at minus 102. Small road favorites. Now move to minus 110. What's interesting about that, shout out to you, Nunez. Shout out to Steve Hairston, Gary Davis. Great to see all you guys in here, man. Thank you guys for coming, hanging out with us today. So interesting spot. This line swelled. Is membership gifting not working for anyone else? That's the question. What's up, Johnny? Johnny C in the house says, what's up, sports money? I haven't been able to gift from here. I haven't been able to gift from the cockpit. Let's see what happens, though. Again, minus 102 went to minus 110 and went as high as minus 120 for the Boston Red Sox before it's kind of nestled itself back into that minus 110 position. 53% of the bets and 85% of the cash on the Red Sox. You guys know the deal. There we go. Trisha M. Gifting a sports money membership. Damn. What the fuck? Why not? It's Thursday. Why not, Trisha M? Shout out to you. Gifting a membership. I don't like cheersing with water. It's fucking bad luck, I think. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm cautiously going to start drinking right now. This is going to be a long night. I just laugh because you guys know what happens. You know how it goes. Shout out to Trisha M. Gifting a sports money membership, helping us grow this community one member at a time. If you guys are the recipient, and I know Trisha M's gifted a ton of memberships, if you've gotten one of those gifted memberships, pay it forward. Gift another one. Get one, give one. Let's get it going. Let's go. So good. Once it burns your lips and the back of your throat, oh, don't let the face fool you. I really am enjoying that. All right. If you guys are new here, we talk about the bets, we talk about the money, and then we look for the reaction, right? Anybody can see the splits. Typically, when we look at the splits, we look at the percentage of bets being the public betting. It's kind of the whole package. It's all the tickets that have been written. It's parlays, props, teasers, sides, totals. The whole shebang goes into the bets. Then we look at the percentage of cash. When we look at percentage of cash, we typically associate that with, well, bigger bettors, potentially sharper bettors. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily sharper. They're just betting a lot more money. And then I guess based on those two factors, what we're really looking to see is how do the books react, right? What is their, are they excited? Do they dismiss? Like they know who some of their sharper bettors are. And when they come in with that backpack full of cash, what are they doing after they get that backpack full of cash? Are they fucking with that guy that dropped 10 grand down? Or are they concerned? So the opening line of minus 102, now minus 110 does show concern. And this total's climbing from 7.5 to 8s. We have 85% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the over. Why, might you ask? Because we have Lytle at 3.73, Lytle at 3.73 ERA. Oh, the first shot always kicks. First shot always kicks. And then we have Bayo with a 4.6 ERA on this season for this guy as well. You know, 14-7 for Bayo. But he came off of getting, I mean, he only had 4 hits, I guess. He only gave up 1 earned run. You guys know the deal with me. These AL East teams, I know we're at this point of the season where it's kind of like, it's a little monotonous, but it's like, this is the model. This is how it works out, right? So AL East teams are not profitable at home. When they go on the road, they are. We continue to see that be a factor with a number of these series out there. Shit, look at the Blue Jays. 4-0 win today. AL East team on the road. That's at home. Gausman factors. Gausman at home. Hell no. Road. Okay. Yankees in Seattle. Well, you said the AL East on the road. They're down 3-2. Man, if you guys saw that game yesterday, what a disappointment. I saw people bitching about the umps. I saw, the players, the hitting ability. Then it goes into extra. Just a waste of time. That's what that was. And here they are, 3-2. Shout out to my man Sharpie. If you guys saw what he said, I live bet it. I got the under 8.5 at plus 114 just before the show started because he was talking about the shadows. But anyways, as it relates to this Red Sox game here, I think there's going to be runs. I do. I don't have an official spot for you guys in this game. I just think that we see runs, 4.60 ERA and a 3.73 ERA. These guys, they go 5, and then it's bullpen time. And, we see this is a split series right now, 8-3, and then a 2-1 yesterday. Boston was able to pick up the win. To me, I would say this has got to be a spot where you got to take either Boston or the over. I don't have anything official on that game. I wanted to read the splits off to you guys, just kind of talk about that strategy as well. You know what? I do have something official. I am taking the Red Sox. Just hang on. Everybody just hang on. Can't tell you to take it and not take it myself. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And I'm going to equally distribute this one across 2 books. I'm on the Red Sox here. I do think runs. I mentioned this already. I'm just going to go back to it. It's it's that time of the season. We know the AL East teams on the road, profitable, not so much at home. We'll keep it going. Onward to the next game that there is in Major League Baseball here. Let me get this thing reacclimated here. The Phillies and the Mets, an NL East showdown out there in New York. Kind of the shitty part of New York, too. Well, let's be honest. Is it really a good part of New York? Really? You ever been there in the summertime? You ever only pack sandals in New York City in the summertime and then it fucking rains? You ever done that? Oof. You only do that once. One time will you do that before you don't do it again. Then we look at the total. This line opened up at minus 134 for the Mets. There's a little split. There's 77% of the bets on the Mets. I think the general assessment is, well, they're still potentially fighting, and the Phillies are really not fighting for anything at this point. But yet we have 52% of the cash on the Phillies. Line stabilization factor in effect here. Minus 134 now, minus 132 for the Mets. Plus 116 for the Phils now, plus 120. So, I don't know. They're not really giving us a tell. They're kind of concerned, I guess, that the handle's where they want it when it comes to the cash flow. The total, however, is climbing. 7.5 is now an 8 with 85% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over. Look, at this game for me, I thought, I looked at it long and hard. You know, I'd love another Iglesias RBI spot out there. And by the way, in case you guys didn't see it yesterday, Sweeney gets that RBI at plus 350. I talked about that on Sharpie's show on Tuesday. And I was like, play him on Wednesday. And sure enough, he gets the job done. But I don't know. You guys know I love my fighting Phils. And I can't wait for Red October. But I want Walker. 7.03 ERA on the road. And he's 2-3. Not only that, but he only went 3 innings his last go-round. Instead, I like Hoboken. I like that shit armpit of New Jersey. And I like the shore. I don't mind the shore. I don't mind Atlantic City either. A lot of hate for Atlantic City. I'm okay with Atlantic City. So just don't go too far out of Atlantic City. You go north just a little too far, you are in trouble for sure. All right, what do we got? Jerry Davis says Tampa Bay loves them some Bayo at .320 batting against. Yeah, that's where I kind of was. That's why it was a late ad. I kind of looked at that earlier, but I like runs, and I think if we're going to coin flip it with the AL East at home and a run spot out there, I'm going to take that Boston Red Sox team. Just better bats. Kelly V says Durant. Total bases -118. Josh Lowe, one hit parlay piece. Kelly V says Atlanta, Miami last home series. Interesting. There we go. Talk Sports, cash that Nimmo RBI at +200 yesterday. Hell yeah, my dude. Let's go. Jerry Davis says Ohtani bomb. Did he get one? Yeah, it looks like he did. You guys are pretty jacked up about it. It looks like he did. The Futon Bets +1100 cash Ohtani. 4th plate appearance, home run. Jesus. Woo! Here's a new name I haven't seen yet in the chat. Twisted 24/7. I like it. I try to be twisted 24/7, but sometimes I just can't. Or I just choose. I don't know. I like it though. Welcome in, Twisted 24/7. It's great to see a new name, new chatter in the building here. And let's talk about this game with some of these numbers when we look at this Phillies Mets side of the house here. Game 1 of a series. Right now, the Mets are riding a 10-game streak. 10 straight wins, first game of a series. Couple that with Taijuan Walker, 0-9, his last 9 starts. Crazy to think about that. I saw a stat. He's only one of 4 pitchers in the Major League Baseball league this year that have pitched to 350 plate appearances and allowed a batting average over 300. That's how bad he is. He's also got the second highest expected ERA in baseball with a 6.54, second highest slug percentage as well. And I mentioned that 10-0 for the game 1 for the Mets. They're 12-1 their last 13. So I looked at this one. I thought about it. How do I want to get paid? How did I want to get to the window? And I got a nice +110 spot right now on the team total over 4.5 full game for this New York Mets team. But I shrunk it down. I got just the first 5 innings. I just want Walker. I just want to take advantage of Walker with this Mets team. Over 2.5. It's +105 action for the first 5 team total over 2.5 for the Mets. You know, we added this play, about 3 months ago? And we've been doing a really great job cashing along with it. When we can find the right spot with the right pile hit pitcher, we want to take a shot at it. And Twisted agrees. Says Mets is the spot today, or the over. I agree. I'm gonna crawl right in between that and say I'm gonna take that Mets first 5 team total over 2.5. You know, it's interesting because if you look at the Phils, talk about it being a Mets spot, their first 5 team total 1.5 is juiced at -140, but it's hard to back Severino in that spot, but I'd almost consider that +110 on the under 1.5. Shout out to Justin McKelvey, my guy with the Stacks play of the day. He's gifting a membership. He's gifting a Sports Money membership, helping us grow this community. And we appreciate it. Comes in daily, not just here. He's over there supporting Ramon Scott in the morning steam as well. And he's gifting a membership. Cheers, Justin McKelvey. Shout out to Old E. All right. Shout out to Old E. He's gifting a Sports Money membership. It's a little early. It's a little early for me to be cracking them back like this, boys and girls. You're gonna see me barking at the screen tonight, live stream. You're gonna see me howling at the moon. My guy, Old E. Appreciate you rocking in here on the regular, gifting a Sports Money membership. Cheers, brother. Thank you much, my guy. Thank you so much. Swallow that down with some water. They get easier as you get going. I'm going to have to take a time out and go grab a smoke break. You guys don't mind, do you? All right. Where are we at? All right. So we got the Mets. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Old E. Thank you, Trisha M. You guys are awesome, man. You guys make this thing worth coming back and having a good time together with everybody. I love spending time with you guys. And man, look at NJ Stryker gifting a Sports Money membership. My guy, NJ Stryker. Says, come to New Jersey. It's a lot cleaner. NJ Stryker, I can't stand that smell of North Jersey, my brother. But I can appreciate you. I can appreciate you rocking with us on the regular. You've been here from day one, my guy. I appreciate you growing the community one at a time. All right. All right. Shout out to Subhuman with the dono as well. Man. Man. Man, I appreciate you guys. You got me sidetracked here. You guys are so awesome. You got me sidetracked. I'm in the zone now. Now I'm in the zone with you guys, man. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Subhuman Gaucho. Big day. He gave it all to you guys for free today over there on X. Yeah, Twisted. Got a little Jack Daniels, man. A little number 7. Sometimes I'll drink the sour mash, though. I'll go to the green label during the Eagles season. So sometimes you'll see the sour mash. David Wallace says, don't forget to like the video. It's free. All right. Oh, all right. Shout out to Big Mouth Rob in the house. We got another one here. Over 3.5 for the Mets team total. And Sub gifted another dono out there as well, my guy. Man, woo! We have to get through the show so I can get myself a smoke break, boys and girls. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys, man. That really means a ton. Woo! Skunk Blaster in the house with the $4.99 dono. Man. All right. Got one more shot of me for Sub and Skunk Blaster. I'm just going to do a little half shot here. A little halfy. Go with a little halfy. Yeah, it's going to be turned up as right. I'm going to be fucking drooling on myself at halftime. I'm going to go splash guard over the keyboard because I'd imagine drooling hot Jack Daniels all over my fucking keys is going to be an issue. But shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to Subhuman. Shout out to Skunk Blaster. Appreciate you guys, man. It does knock the edge off. Does knock the edge off. Oh, man. We got a detour. We're not even that deep here. All right. Pirates and Cardinals, you guys. Let's get into it. Here's some action that we're involved with here. And we're trying to beat this line move. So 7:15 start. I'll move quickly here. Because, now I need a smoke break. So the Cardinals and the Pirates, we got trounced on that under last night. Sucked. We got big movement on the Cardinals as well. Minus 134. Now minus 145. 84% of the bets and 92% of the cash on the St. Louis Cardinals. We got a total. Started at 8.5. Starting to see 8s. Shout out to Dana Delp. What up? Good to see you. Cliff Yang says, is that a water back for some Jack? It is. Well, I wasn't expecting the Jack to be in play. But it is. That's Thursday. It's the bridge to the weekend. I told you guys. I practice what I preach, man. I'm excited for tonight's show. Can't wait to hang out with the crew, all you guys live, and do what we do here. And we'll hopefully be high-fiving and pressing the button when we cash this Pirates-Cardinals game here. 76% of the bet, 76% of the cash on the over. It's interesting to see just how quickly can I talk after I get a few shots in me. And as we look at this starting pitching matchup, it's Fetty and Ortiz. Fetty, 3.11 ERA, 7-4. Ortiz has been the mini missile launcher here, 3.45 with a 6-6 record on the season. And, again, we're at that point of the season. We're right down to the end of this thing here where, I want to get involved with some Fetty action in my life. This guy's a 3.45 ERA, but he's 1.98 at home. So we got kind of circumstance or condition 1 pitcher does a lot better when he's at home than when he does on the road. His last game, he got touched up. So we're looking for a bounce back from this guy. Now, his last game was on the road. It was against Toronto. It was a 4-3 loss. They went extra innings. He went 5 innings. He got hit 6 times, 3 runs, 3 of them earned, but only 1 walk. So can we expect a pitch to contact game potentially with this thing here? But he does pitch better at home. On the flip side, we look at Ortiz. Yeah, 3.45 ERA. Here's that confluence, right? Here's that intersection of events where Ortiz has that 2.84 ERA at home. So this guy pitches better. On the road. 2.84 ERA on the road. That's the Jack. That's the Jack talking. His last game, however, not his finest either. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned, gives up 2 home runs. Man, I'm back to the well. I'm back to this full game. I'm back to the under 8.5 on this full game. I got it at minus 118. And the theory, again, is we've got a 65% trend ratio on these guys when they're at home at night with the Cards to go under. We got the better pitcher at home in Fetty. We got the better pitcher in Ortiz on the road. We got a bounce back opportunity for these guys. Ortiz doesn't have a lot. He's 6-6, but 8.5's dropping to 8s. Especially, this is like when we cashed that Atlanta spot last night. We cashed the under in Atlanta. The game before, they rocked that over, and it was overreaction city. Now all this cash is coming in on the over. We got the 65-70% trend to the under for the Cards at home at night, and we got an 8.5. Best number you can get. Ooh, minus 115. Can't believe a fucking couple shots of Jack, and I'm starting to not be able to see the minus 115 is the best number on the 8.5, and I'm taking it. I'm taking it to the bank. Let's go. Arizona Diamondbacks, Milwaukee Brewers. I would be on the Diamondbacks or nothing in this game, and we've got some big movement that direction. I'll tell you why. 51% of the bets, but 85% of the cash on the Brewers, minus 116. Huge move, though. Reverse move against that big, sharp number. This is where I think those sharps are buying the number, though. They're not so concerned about the game, right? We talked about this the other day. It's now plus 110 for the Brewers, with 85% of the cash now on the Brewers. Buying in at this plus 110 number because it's probably a coin flippy game. Brandon Pfaadt going on the other side. The 8 has moved to 8.5. We have 88% of the bets and 87% of the cash on the over. Brandon Pfaadt with that 4.81 ERA. The reason I'm not involved in this game is because of the celebration last night. I would be inclined to fade the team that is celebrating, clinching their division. And shout out to Joe T. I know he got that win total over, and believe he had the Brewers to win the division as well. And he said, F it, I'm a homer. But that's a homer that cashed. So, yeah, Chosen One is right on point. Shout out to Chosen One. Says Brewers already clinched. And then the homer coming in, dropping his knowledge. Says Brewers cleaning up tonight. I don't think so. I know they still have a little to play for, I think, from a standings perspective. But, as I was looking at this game, a couple things that I kind of saw that popped off at me was, playing in on this Arizona Diamondbacks side of things here. You look at Pfaadt. First of all, it's Pfaadt be damned. The overs have been crushing in this Arizona series here. Team total overs might be a good look too as well. Pfaadt's ERA in his last 9 starts, 7.58. But Arizona is first in WRC+. Them boys were drinking cocktails last night after they clinched that series. They were drinking. Well, except for the 20-year-old, right? They were cocktailing. And I think Arizona's the number 2 team behind, we'll say the 2. I guess I'll give my NL East, or my NL rankings would be Phillies, Diamondbacks. I don't know who would be 3rd, but I would put the Brewers around 4. They've moved up from 5 to 4 in my book here. Nonetheless, I just couldn't get involved in this game. I just don't have shout out to Talk Sports and JT. Nothing's for that's why I don't stream to Facebook. That's why I don't stream to Facebook. Every so often, one of my friends will be like, man, you were lit last night. I'm like, well, dude, you logged in at the 7-hour mark of a 7.5-hour stream. What'd you think happened? What'd you think was going to happen? So there's no action for me in this game. I would lean to Arizona. The lines moved that direction, but there's no action. Here's a game I got some action. Here's where I want to get involved. It's Nationals, Cubs with some big movement here. towards the Nationals, surprisingly enough. Minus 190 Cubs, now minus 167. We have 87% of the bets, but only 65% of the cash on the Cubs. No movement on the 8.5. 88% of the bets and 88% of the cash on the over in this game. And it's Corbin and Assad. Corbin and Assad. Dominic Diaz, he's talking about it too. He's confirming. Late night for making the playoffs. I agree. 100%. I think it's a tricky little position. Even if it's not a tricky position, it's just a matter of like, is that where you want to put your money? You know what I'm saying? That variable, that unknown. I hate when people say that. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? I also hate when people say, look, I do that too. So I'm cognizant of some of the things that I hate. But as I look at this game, to me, I thought there was only one way to play it. The only way for me to get involved with this game, I'm looking at this Cubs team total over. It is Corbin Day. You know, we see that when you look at betting against this guy, you cash. The Cubs offense is back to how they started off this season at home on a tear. 26 runs in their last 5 games. And we know Corbin, 6.58 ERA on the road this season. 3.4 or 0.347 OBA. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Nationals are 0-9. Corbin's last 9 starts as a dog. But we have that reverse line movement. Where I wanted to look at this is the Nationals are being outscored 7-2 in Corbin starts. And the Cubs have the 5th WRC plus in the month of September. So I can take a little advantage of, I saw him back there. We'll see if he's going to pop in and show his face here. But I like this. I like this little spot for the Cubs team total over 4.5. The number that I locked in, let's see what we can get right now. Just picking away. Strong batting, shit pitching. Minus 115 Cubs. Team total over 4.5. Not first 5. I guess you could probably go that direct. I just want the full game. Because of how strong they are in their WRC plus, I want the full game in this spot. Not just to isolate it to the first 5. And I, yeah, could Corbin come out there? Yeah. Could he pitch a gem? Yeah. He's been good lately, says KV. He's in a contract year. Boy, if I was him, I'd want the hell out of Washington. All they do is let that guy go in there and roast like a pig on a spit. And the emu. You guys know what an emu is? That's Patrick Corbin. And I'd want the hell out of there. I don't know what a right landing spot for him is, but probably some shit team that needs an experienced veteran to, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a good landing spot for him. Shit team that's got a lot of young pitchers that could use the experience of a guy that knows what it's like to get roasted and toasted and still come back the next day and have to show up to work. Pittsburgh's a great landing spot for that guy. Last game on the card for baseball. We're looking at the Angels and the Astros. We've got ourselves a battle here. It's Kikuchi back in the bump. Kikuchi has been nothing but money since he left Toronto. Talk about the smelling the roses. That fucking gray cloud dissipated, and it is nothing but blue skies for Kikuchi. 8-0, I believe, is the number since Kikuchi has moved his ass on out to Houston with a huge favorite now, minus 300. Now, this is where I got to draw the red flag. Should Kikuchi be a minus 300 with this Astros lineup? I don't know. 94% of the bets, 95% of the cash are on the Astros. It's moved from minus 295 to minus 275. Then we moved the total from 8.5s to 8s, but we have reverse movement because 86% of the bets and 82% of the cash are on the over. On the flip side, it's Suarez with a 6.80 ERA. And I felt like this angle, at least for this game, to me was a lot like what we called that last series. It's playoff baseball for Houston. They got their go-to guy on the bump. The thing is, what can Suarez do for you? Well, Suarez last game, he only went 4 innings. He got hit 5 times, but no runs out of there. So pitching to contact, but finding a way to be successful. Now, his last start was against Houston. I never liked those spots entirely. He took a 5-3 loss. I'm not on the Angels in this game. There's no fucking way. But when I was thinking about this game, as I was looking at some of these numbers, something popped off at me that kind of scared the shit out of me. The Astros. when the total is less than 10.5, after they use 5 or more pitchers, are 0-9 in those spots out there. Now, I mentioned it's 8-0 for Kikuchi. They are 9th in the WRC plus, 21 points higher than the Angels in the month of September. So the last, now 19 days sample shows that they're hitting. I went wide in this game. This was another wide spot. Now, last night's wide spot didn't work out so great with this Milwaukee Brewers team, right? We got the Brewers win. We didn't get the Brewers in the over, and fucking Nola comes out there and throws the gem. But I went deep. I went first 5 under 4.5. Full game under 8.5. It's now 8. I'm still okay with that. Like I said, to me, it's more of if it is a 6-2 type of finish, let's see if there's any 8.5s left out there. No. Minus 108 on the under 8, minus 103 at Bet Rivers. But the wide spot for me was taking a little swing. I wanted to take a swing on a guy here. I know it's an under, and I don't want to kind of thread the needle or talk out of both sides of my mouth, but it is one of the last few baseball games that I think we'll be doing some RBIs here to finish the season off because they'll be bringing up young guys, inconsistent at best. I went to Kyle Tucker. I am a sucker for Tucker. You guys have heard me say that before. I like what this guy can do. And here's the thing about Tucker with his percentages out there. Against Jose Suarez, it's lefty versus lefty. In the past, I used to shy away from those plays. For whatever reason, I just didn't like the way it looked. I guess I just don't like it. I'm a lefty batter myself. It's a little tricky. The ball tends to kind of spin out, and that leads to ground balls. But I like some RBI opportunity. Here's why I was looking at Tucker. He's got 9 at-bats against Suarez. He's got no success. Nothing. 9 at-bats, no hits, a 0 across the board for this guy. I think the O's got to go for Kyle Tucker. It's plus 145 for this guy to get an RBI. Up! I'm ready. Where'd he go? I'm ready. All right. There he is. He's back. He's ready. Let's bring on our guy here. Let me get things situated. Let me give him the appropriateness that he deserves. Welcome in, C. Making it Mac, Daddy. See Mac.
Mikey. Oh, man, you got the boxes on me here. Why are you fucking with me?
We got a class.
You got it. So you have it regular for you, but boxes for other people.
Well, I got boxes for everybody that shows up. If we were 4 deep, I'd have 4 boxes.
Yeah, but like this, not the traditional boxes.
No.
We're all right. You know what?
We're different around these.
You know what? We got to fix this, Mike. I can't have the vibe right away off.
You're off with the oh man. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I mean, does that help us at all?
Well, I'm gonna have to get back. I guess I don't. No, I'll go back to the other one. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. Go back to the other one.
All right, let's go. C-Mac, I just rifled through baseball. Are you still involved in the baseball business here, or are you table?
Yeah, of course. I think you nailed it on everything, Mike. No need for my talk.
Man, a few words. I love it, but I did show.
But I have to say, when a lefty that's true. A lot of lefties can't hit lefties, but when a lefty guy like Tucker hits lefties, it don't matter. So that's why does what he does. So, but you're right. For the most part about lefties.
So I loaded up. More than I wanted to in this baseball game here, but I like to fade some of these options.
Shout out to the chat.
Try to get it done. So, C-Mac, let's talk some college football. How about that? I know I shouted out hitting the books, baby. Guys,
Appreciate it, Michael.
Mondays, rocking damn near the entire card, C-Mac. We got a spot tonight, a little Sun Belt, Fun Belt, midweek action between South Alabama and Appy State. Big movement here. Minus 5.5 for Appy State's now 7.5. 57% of the bets and 62% of the cash are effective enough to move that line for Appy State. And this total, how about this total? Earlier, it opened at 62.5. It went up as high as like 64s, 64.5s I saw. 58% of the bets and 83% of the cash on the over. And I got to feel like there's a little bit of me inside there that thinks, well, we just saw South Alabama as like the first team in a decade that put up an 87 spot. They almost scored 100 points on their own, C-Mac. South Alabama. What the fuck? I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. 87-10. It was.
Yeah, but it's who they played. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. 87 points.
So, C-Mac, I'm reversing the trend on this thing here. I saw that big movement, but what I know about these Sun Belt teams is when they play during the week, and I talked about this earlier this week, Sun Belt teams during the week, non-Saturday games for Sun Belt teams, they got a nice 2-11 to the under trend floating in their direction right now. So 11-2 to the under for Sun Belt teams. I gave it out earlier this week at 63.5. There's also another system. 63 and 26 is basically just a bigger extrapolation of these weekday games for non-ranked teams. So weekday games, teams typically have that short preparation opportunity. They're just trying to get the hell out of there, maybe take a couple days off to try to get healthy. I'm on the under. I got that 63.5 earlier this week. It's down to 62.5, C-Mac. What say you?
By the way, our guy, NJ Striker, I'm kind of kidding, but I'm just saying I just don't want to move around when I get here. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm so used to the regular boxes. And I got to give Mike a hard time. I mean, come on. Holy shit. But yeah, let's get to it. I get where you're at here, Mike. No way fucking way I could take this under. I just but a lot of things you're hitting on you could get at. You're just taking basically both these teams' bottom level defenses in every category. But the thing is, I just think they both can score on each other. I don't know about South Alabama and off the 87 points against Northwestern State, if they can. But the Ohio game was slow. That team's just so slow, that 27-20. And I don't know if it's 52-38. I could only look over. One thing in college football, because a little bit of the clock, there hasn't been a ton of overs. We're getting in these mid-60s. Like, you really got to love it. North Texas has been one of them, or a team like Texas Tech. Or there's a few. But they just barely gotten over this. I'm the other way here. I could only be on the over. I haven't bet it, but I could only be that way. I think both these offenses score. I don't trust App State or their defense. Did they turn something around? That was a great win after being down, right away, 16-0 to turn it around. And they put up a ton of yards in that game. Still won, but I think it could have been even more. When I went through all the metrics of these defenses, I can't be on it. But good luck.
What do you make of this line where it opened at 62.5, it shot up to like 64.5, but now it's come back down? Like what's the?
I think it's a midweek game. I think it's a little bit like all those points. People see 87, they don't even care about the team. Yeah. Like that's what they're not looking at a little bit. They think this will come down, and they knew everyone probably would be on this over. There's a few other games we can get to later this week that might deal a little bit with weather or wind. This game doesn't, and this is a high total. Once I think it's the mid-60s. It's just not easy to get over, especially the last few years where I've had it in the past. Some years it just would fly over when I'd be on these. It would, I wouldn't mind the 64.5. And I don't mind, really mind it here. Not that I love this game, but who stops who? Maybe South Alabama's defense is a little bit better. I don't buy it. For Ohio team to get 20 on them, I mean, I think that was good for their defense, but they gave up 52. It just seems like App State gets in the high 30s, and they're another team that I don't know. And they've taken care of South Alabama in the past. They haven't played a lot lately. I think the last game. It was 2021 or 2022, but they're at home. That's where I've only wanted to bet, really, App State, but I don't want to lay a touchdown with them, that's for sure. So get the cash, Mikey, on the other.
Yeah, I also remember some former players doing some interviews talking about just the travel factor that goes into Appy State there, like App State, West Virginia, even Happy Valley. There's some places where it's difficult to travel to because even after you land, you still got a 3-hour bus ride or whatever to get.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right, and that's very much Appy State. So very much home supported. Does that make a difference? I've seen South Alabama roll some duds in my day here. It's not for the faint of heart. Certainly especially a team can go over on their own. Do we see that happen again though? I'm going to bank on a little defense. I'm going to bank on that midweek Fun Belt trend out there.
That's what you're banking on. Because just going off the last few games, they're not very good. Maybe they were just thinking when it got to that number, it was too high. And we got sharp money when we saw 64.5 on a day like this where it's basically all midweek, that's where they want to hammer it, day of. They didn't want to touch this on Monday, Mike.
Right.
The Sharks.
Tie that money up all week on a game like this, particularly.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna ride it out. We'll see if it happens. It's gonna be fun to be live betting and sweating that thing here to see what happens. Shout out to our guy Ron Crawford. You know, he kills the bookies overnight. See, Mac, he's got that KBO action. He's got Lotte.
All right, so Tawny went yard, 50-50.
Apparently he did.
Beautiful.
Part of the 50-50 club. We were live. I was doing shots. People were gifting memberships. I did not see it myself. So, C-Mac, let's talk some. Let's talk some NFL. C-Mac. We got a big game brewing here Thursday night. We're going to be doing the live stream. I hope to see you. We're going to be talking about this Patriots-Jets game. It's a divisional battle, of course. The Jets, the Pats, and, line movement towards the Pats here. 7.5s, now down to 6.5s, even 6s out there. But 52% of the bets and 62% of the cash on the Jets. So money coming in on the Jets, but the line's dropped now to that 6. Feels to me like when I see that number move down to those 6s, it almost feels scripted, like they're expecting this to be a 6 or 7 point game, and 6 might just be the push. The total's dropping. Of course, it's a primetime game, C-Mac, 42s, all the way down to 38.5s in some places out there. But here we go, 62% of the bets and 51% of the cash on the over in this game out there. Both teams sitting at 1-1. We saw a clunker from the Jets to open the season off. They pulled out that San Francisco L, and they took it in fashion. Aaron Rodgers, the true piece of shit that he is, doesn't even play the rest of the fourth quarter. They're just done. And then he goes out there on the road and beats up them Tennessee Titans and Will Levis. The Patriots, a grinder. They took me out of Survivor League. Cincinnati Bengals, highest favorite on the card. The Patriots come out there, beat them outright. They took out like half a circus Survivor League. Then they go last week in a spot that should have been under with 39.5. I was on the under. They tie it up 20-20 just to lose in overtime to the Seattle Seahawks. Lots of trends on this game, C-Mac. We've seen, teams that go to overtime that play against a team that didn't go to overtime. They lose those following games. Kind of makes sense. We see, Aaron Rodgers is a piece of shit. That kind of makes sense. We see that might be, there's no stat correlated to that. It's just maybe it's arbitrary, but I'm going to say it is fact. Here's some numbers for you, C-Mac. We look at some of these spots as well. The unders, clearly 8-0-1, the Jets' last 9 week 3 games. Now, Aaron Rodgers didn't contribute last year's week 3 because Buffalo knocked his ass out. The home teams on short weeks are 28-4 to the under. And then I was looking at a couple of these spots here. Divisional teams, dogs that are longer than plus 5.5 are 1-16 against the spread. Short rest off a game that went to overtime. Divisional teams Thursdays are 12-1 to a team they beat against the spread the last time out, C-Mac. Numbers are kind of flip-flopped here. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, what we got to do is we got to roll our sleeves up. We got to put the big boy pants on, and we got to think about how this game script is going to go. Patriots and Jets. What do you think? Do you have a play on the side?
I don't, because I just those shitty numbers after the OT on the short week. It's like as much as Pats have kind of looked over like what everyone thought the first 2 weeks, and the Jets I don't think have looked very well. They got their ass kicked. It's the 49ers, and they won by 7 and cover that game, but it was way closer than that, and you know that. I mean, if you had the Jets to cover, you feel pretty good about it. And Will Levis is just this guy's got problems, turning the ball over and in the red zone. New England, we'll see what they could do on offense here. I think Stevenson, they played a couple bad defenses against the run, the first 2. That game last week, I had the under. Mike, there was just a little bit too much scoring early. That game goes under. It did in the second half. It got back to what I thought. That was one of my losses. I had a pretty good NFL Sunday. But that one got over with the OT in that one. But he ran well. I think Gibson ran well. I'll get to him in a second. But what's weird is this Patriots line. It's like it's all backups here. It's like the tackle. It's like third stringers.
Right.
At guard, at center. Can they keep going at this? And Brissett's just going to keep it dink and dunk, and they have to run it. Can they run it? And the Jets, who are such a great run defense last year, it's only 2 games in. they looked a little better last week against the Titans. I think they gave up about 3.8. They gave up about 85 yards, but week 1, I mean, they gave up a ton to the 49ers in that one. That's why I think there's a little bit I'll head on the side to Gibson, as long as the Jets, don't get a big lead here. You know what I mean? It's like Pats are someone in it. They'll keep running it. I think there's value with his over 22.5 rush yards. He had 7 for 18. Even his attempts is at 6.5. And then he had 11 for 96. I think he's a guy that has to be used. As much as I love Stevenson, I think Gibson, this guy, maybe not a starting back, but I think he's a guy that should get probably 7 to 10 carries a game, right? And so I like that prop in this one, and I think I'll be on it. But how do you not? I think the game stays under, even if the Jets. I wrote down, of course, field goals. This is a classic game with that, because I agree. I mean, even at 39, do you want to be on the over here, Mike? My over man?
I do, but I'm not going to.
I know. I mean, do you really?
Only because it's just I just hate that.
I know.
You know what I hate? It's just it's fucking under. Just primetime unders, and I hate that because I just feel like it's empty capping. But I agree with you. I mean, it's a divisional battle. It's a
divisional game. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So I get it. But we start to see is the books are just going to have to start bringing this down, and that's why it's like 42 probably would be this. Normally last year, even that's a low total of 41. Every point in the NFL at this total matters, especially in like a 2016 or whatever, 27, 24, 17. They all just it adds up. But yeah, the under is the only way it could look. So Gibson, I'll take that. On the other side, the Jets' offensive line has been pretty good.
Yeah,
they're pretty healthy. I think Rodgers can do his. Do I have enough trust though in the Jets, in Rodgers? To lay this.
No.
And the Jets have never been a favorite at all, against the Patriots, and they're horrible against them. I know they won that last game. Who the fuck were the quarterbacks in this last game, last year? Not that it really matters. I just meant when we run through this, it was just backup. Simeon for the Jets and Zappy. Yeah, where are they at now? Not in this game. It's Rodgers. So, but this could be a weird one where the Jets, if they play real well, I could see them winning. That it's a low, but ugly. One thing with the Jets, Wilson's just been a cash machine for me. It's hard for me. He's just been money for me last year, the last couple years. He's just, when I take him, and I think his over 5.5, it's 5.5, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that was last night. As long as it's not the 6.5, Mikey, and even that he gets to, I think that's something he gets to in this game, and he's just been money to it. I had Lazard the week 1. Maybe he could be better. He's not a great receiver, but he's a guy that probably could get 2 or 3 from Rodgers. Yeah, from week to week, I don't love him. And that game where he had a couple touchdowns there, the junk touchdowns, he had some drops, Mike.
Yeah.
Did Lazard. I mean, I could see why someone maybe want to take him. I just kind of jotted down that was a lean for me there. But I think, you just go back to Wilson. And Hall, he's just been the constant, at least, and even receiving. They just dump it off to him, screens. I think he's going to get 4 or 5 catches, right? So,
yeah.
But that's at 4.5.
I've been finding success with the teaser just because these numbers, the numbers start to come down, so they get a little sharper. I looked at the Jets -0.5. I don't see the Jets losing this game, so I start there. I know it's down to 0.5, and we're not crossing 0, so that kind of fallacy of don't cross 0 with teasers isn't in play. Then I look at this total. It's now sitting at 39, so I can pick this up at 45.5. So the Jets to win and the game to go under 45.5 was a -115 teaser. But you hit on my big playmaker tonight. The guy that I want to get all in on here is I'm going to go to Garrett Wilson. The guy's I'm a simple solution. Give me the numbers. Make it make sense to me. And at some point, this guy's got to cross pay dirt. 5 primetime games. He's got 62 fucking targets. He's got 0 touchdowns. He's caught 36 receptions, right? So you're not going to get too many Aaron Rodgers looks if you're dropping the ball. So give me this guy to catch this ball. I love that 4.5 to 5.5. He's gone over 343 receiving yards and not a single touchdown in prime time. He's averaging 12.5 targets 7.2 receptions, and 69 yards per game. He finds pay dirt. Pay dirt's 145 for this guy. 150s. It was earlier this morning. It was plus 185s, plus 190. So that's come down. So the way I went approach in this one here is I've got Wilson anytime touchdown. There's a full unit for me on Wilson anytime touchdown. I half united together Wilson to score a touchdown with Ramondre Stevenson because that goes up to a plus 425. So my theory there is as long as Garrett Wilson gets into the end zone for me, I'm playing with house money and I can still walk away a winner. And then I'm going to go for I'm in on Garrett Wilson this game. I like this guy to get 2+ touchdowns as well. That was 1,100. The number's just great. There's no way, based on just a simple law of averages, this guy can't cross over that fucking end zone unless it does just become a run-heavy Breece Hall game. But one of the most bet tickets I saw in the game tonight is Breece Hall to get a rushing touchdown. So, or an anytime touchdown. So, I like to try to fade that. That's much like where you were asking me, do you want to be involved in the over? I do, because everybody's on the goddamn under. But, Garrett Wilson, anytime touchdown, 2+ touchdowns is now down to 10-1. So I would throw a quarter unit on that as well. I don't like to get into the half and quarter unit games, but there's some strategy behind it because you can still end up profitable even if he only gets 1 touchdown. We just need him to get 1, and then we're
I don't think there's nothing crazy to it. Like, you're going to constantly putting out, whatever you bet a unit on to get that big score, and just, I think, a corner unit. But yeah, I'll be on the 5.5. I got even money in this one. I don't mind the yards too at 63. He's just the safety blanket. I think he gets 6 or 7 at least tonight, right? I just think he does. And I'm going to take Gibson. I'm going to take that 22.5. I think it's the best number, rushing yards. And much as I'm a big Stevens guy, and like I said, as long as the Jets don't get out, because they have to run it. One thing, like last week, even, they just have to run the football. They did it against the Bengals. The defense played well. I don't know how much this continues here with the Patriots. Like, I can't believe what this offensive line they're starting. And we know what the receivers, like Henry had all right game, the tight end last week. But they don't have a ton of weapons with this Patriots team. And they're going to have to win games a little low scoring. Right, Mike? Patriots aren't good. I mean, they have to. They have to control the clock, hand it off. So, yeah.
I wanted to get involved in the Ramondre Stevenson business with his rushing and receiving combo.
I mean, I should.
I mean, 100 plus, this guy was plus 145. 125 is plus 380. So the gap between 75 plus rushing and receiving to 100 goes from minus 200 to plus 145. Somewhere in between there probably lies the value for this guy.
What looks good, though, like I said, though, Mike, he gets some bad teams against the run. Yeah. Bottom of the thing. But he looked good. And, if you're going to continuously tell me he's going to get 20 carries and a few catches, that bet looks really good. I'm not just going to say go against it. I mean, he had 120 on 25 carries, 21 for 81. In each game he had a touchdown, and he had a couple catches, I think, in each game, or at least 1 or 2. So, I mean, I get it.
C-Mac, let's turn the page here. I know it's the last game of the WNBA season.
No way.
Everybody is eagerly anticipating action that you have in the WNBA here tonight.
Stop it.
Are you going to satisfy the people, or you want me to?
That's your job. It's your fucking show. Get on with it.
I do have 2 WNBA plays for you guys. Nothing early. Timing-wise, we're trying to make sure that we do a better job of helping you guys be able to get this action in, but want to give you some time to think about it as well. This just comes down to just playing spots for me with these 2 games. I'm not getting involved early. I was back and forth on the Sparks. I want to take the link, but last game of the season for the Sparks, they've been bullshit all season. I kind of feel like now with the 4.5, you look at the cash flow, 34% of the bets are on the Sparks, but 93% of the cash. This is where, we talked earlier, C-Mac. I feel like the Sharps are just buying that number, like 4.5. They're getting those points against the Lynx team that really doesn't have shit to play for. But
yeah,
2 spots that I am in business on here. The first one, I'm looking at the Wings and the Aces. Wings and Aces here. This number's gone crazy. It's because simply 10 p.m. start. It's about who's playing and who's not. The Aces have nobody playing. The Wings, just trying to finish the card out here. Plus 9.5 moved to -4. That to me, that line movement tells me everything I need to know about how this game's going to go. It's going to be a wing spot. I think they win the game. You know, 4 might be a little sweaty now that it's gone down fucking 3.5 points, but I think they can go out there and they can win this thing by 2 buckets, maybe 3. And that's going to be a tight one. But again, the Aces, why show anything at this point? You're 26-13. You're pretty much locked and loaded into where you're at with the playoffs. What is there left to prove in this game? Give me some wings here with this huge line movement. I'm going to tail the back end of the steam, C-Mac.
I take Minnesota here. Even though there's nothing first half, maybe not full game. That's where I take him. I don't bet at WNBA. That's just where I'd look at it. I don't want the full game. The Sparks have just been awful, Mikey. Doing awful, and they haven't been really good.
They are
as a dog. This has been an awful spot here in Minnesota for them. And maybe they get up there close towards the end of the game, you know. I mean, that'd just be my lean, would be them first half.
I went to game number 2 that I'm jumping in. I love that first half lean, by the way. I'm not against that at all. That kind of helps me get to that checking the box for the Lynx. I went to the under in the Storm and Mercury game. Now, I cashed on the Storm under the other day. We gave that out here on the show. 57% of the bets are on the under, but 72% of the cash are on the over. This one, I couldn't define it anymore. There's nothing for these teams to play for. The Storm are number 5. Mercury are number 7. We took that under for the Storm last game because the Jewel Lloyd factor. Jewel Lloyd being out there, she's been battling an injury, and she's a 20-point-a-game player. That's a significant bump to take out of the lineup. Now, this thing's gone 3.5 points to the over. We have 43% of the bets, 72% of the cash on the over. Yet I'm going to jump in on this thing because with neither team having anything to play for, it's how do we get through this, stay healthy, not show our hand in the playoffs, just slow the pace down, grind it out. They'll probably fuck around in the second half and start taking stupid shots, and everyone's going to be laughing and ass-patting and having a good time with it. So this one to me just felt like this is probably my favorite WNBA spot here on the card. We saw an under before. The 164 is the sweet spot for this Storm team to get under those numbers as well. And I love this number being out there. So that's where I want to get paid. That's how I want to get this cash, C-Mac. I'm going to take the under in that 10 p.m. spot out there. Mel likes Tina Charles, 12-plus rebounds at plus 176.
Right.
Coin says the bartender's on the Jets -6. I don't know who the bartender is, but
nice. All right.
I don't know.
I like it. I love it.
Let's get her done, C-Mac. That's how we're going to put a bow on the show tonight here. We got about 25 minutes till we roll back around.
Let's touch on your college real quick. You always ask, you know, here at the end. Let's tell me what's going on.
Let's go
with your shit.
All right, let's get into some college football, C-Mac. Illinois, Nebraska. Maybe I'm a sucker. I like the +8 for Illinois. I'm not buying Nebraska. I get it. You know, they've been playing pretty tremendous. We see the totals coming down. Both teams are 3-0. Do you buy into this Illinois team, the Fighting Illini? You know, we saw Nebraska takes down Northern Iowa 34-3. They beat up Colorado. I'm not a believer in who Nebraska's played. Now, that being said, the big win for me that stands out is Illinois beating Kansas, but that was an easy letdown spot after that game against Central Michigan. And they kicked the shit out of Central Michigan. Didn't cover, but it was 21.5. So depending on the number you got, you either got a push or you got the hook or you got hooked. 8 points to me. I don't have the number up offhand here, but I know there was a big trend in favor of this Illinois spot there. What do you think? Big Ten action. Can Illinois cover, or are you going to go Nebraska Huskers?
No, I think they could cover. I haven't bet this. It was at 10 there for a minute. Late Monday, early Tuesday morning. And it touched it, and then it just came right back down to 8, 7.5. So I feel like I missed it, but I still think the 7.5 over the touchdown. I'd only want to be on Illinois. Nebraska hasn't played anybody. They look really good, and they're at home again. And I've been impressed. I think both defenses are good. So if you're telling me this total's 43, I think this game's within a touchdown or so. Because Altmaier's a big risk for me. I talk about him a lot. He's been great. Like, he was great. The Kansas win at home. These games have been at home. You know, Central Michigan, a horrible team. Kind of just a nice win, 30-19. And the defense really wasn't too great. They should have shut them down, I think, more than even that. But they didn't give up a touchdown in that 30-9 game. I think they come to play here. So I like it. I mean, I think they keep close. Altmaier don't make mistakes. Lean on the defense. And both these teams lean on their kind of red zone defense in this game. We'll see how many touchdowns we get. And let's see Raiola, the big kid here, if he's the real deal. Because UTEP, bad Colorado team that's, they are what they are. They're not very good. And Northern Iowa? What was that last game they had?
Yeah, it was Northern Iowa.
A little bit, yeah. That's but this is at home. I think Nebraska could win, but I don't know.
How about Florida, Mississippi State, C-Mac? I fell in the trap. I had the 4 points with I laid the I took 4 points with.
I stayed off again. Yeah, I lost on Miami. The very first that week. Yeah.
I even took the fucking money line on that thing. Just like an asshole, I thought Florida might be able to show something. I like the kid coming out there now. Lagway coming out there. I thought they were going to try to use him a little bit more.
No, they got Mertz fucking out there, Mike.
Still, and I thought they would pull the hook a little quicker on Mertz when he found a way to be inept. But maybe they felt they were in that game. 33-20 was the final score. Mississippi State, on the other hand, man, they're just getting busted up everywhere. Yeah, they beat East Kentucky 56-7, but when it came to some competition, Arizona State 30-23 on the road, they get busted up. Didn't cover either. They got hooked. They go out there. They play Toledo at home. Laying 10.5. Lose 41-17. I'm inclined to take the 6.5 points here. I think they lost that game because they were in that look ahead against Florida. They know this is a big battle for them guys. Toledo, does it make sense? Doesn't it make sense? I don't know, but 6.5 points in the back pocket now. We're starting to see 6s and steam coming in, dropping this thing back down to 5.5. It did open up at 4.5. So a big conglomerate seems to be jumping in on this Florida Gator side of things. I'm going to roll with the Mississippi State side, I think, in this game here. Not play I gave out with the, breaking the tackle or breaking the huddle, whatever the name is of the show. But nonetheless, the spot that I want to get involved with here happens to be a little Mississippi State.
You don't even know the name of your fucking show?
I came up with it this morning when I was taking a shot.
Oh, okay. And by the way, I was just thinking. I just took a piss. You keep this box. I'll be on no complaints. I'll be in this every time. I'll remember it. Okay? Not that other box or this bullshit, or I'll be off because I'm normally a little bit different with other things. So this box, to bed, to rest. As long as it's this one, I'll be in it because I'll remember to move over. No way you can take Florida in this game. It's Mississippi State or nothing. That's where I want. That loss against Toledo was horrible.
It can only be the look ahead. They had to be looking ahead to this Florida team, right? I mean, there's no way.
I know, but they're not very good. But this is like at home in Starkville. This is where you want them. What do they call it? The Vegas, which they shouldn't. Vegas of the South in Starkville. I mean, the cowbells will be going off. Their defense is what I'm a little worried about. Both these teams can't stop anything, and I think so too. 2-quarterback system, I hate it. Hate it. You know what I mean? It's just stick with one and go to Lagway. Let him have his problems. They're just hanging on to Mertz. This guy's been in college football for 7 or 8 years. And like Florida could go in there. Oh, Jerry, I don't trust them. Can you trust them after their defense? Like these were games where in the past with okay Florida teams, they played well because it's the swamp. And that's why like people backed them like you did, Mike. I did the first game against Miami. I couldn't last week. And then to see them trot out Mertz, I was like, there you go. And they were down 20-0 and kind of scored some points late. But, nothing for me. Johnson asked Nate, what'd you mean? We'll recap? Is that what you're saying? Nate?
He wants a
64
recap.
likes? Okay, we'll do it at the end. But let's hit a couple more. Tell me what you're rolling with the show.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's talk about this Miami, Florida, South Florida spot there. Speaking of, we see this thing's moved from 18 down to 17s and even 16.5. We got big action coming in on Miami, Florida, but what are we sleeping on this South Florida team? We saw last year they went out there, they busted up Alabama. Maybe it wasn't Bama's best game. Bama certainly got their revenge out there this year, 42-16. They take on Southern Missouri, they go 49-20. But we look at Miami, Florida, crunching. They crunched everybody. All the Florida, this is what, the last game in the Battle of Florida for these guys? Unless they go out there and play Jacksonville State, they will officially be the champions of Florida. 41-17 against the Gators. 56-9 against FAMU. The agricultural and mining program did not have anything to do with football that day. And then 62-0 against a MAC team in Ball State.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's a lot of points, though, C-Mac. Is 17.5 too many points for this team here? It kind of feels to me like South Florida, not what they were last year. South Florida last year,
okay.
to go out there and do their thing. I kind of want to get involved now that this number's coming down. If I can get this thing down to like 16 or even 15.5 by the time 7 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday rolls around, I'm going to jump in on a little Miami, I believe. I think I'm going to take the big favorites.
Nate, you're going to be here next week. Right on. Yeah. Ixnizzle. My brother's in town. My mom's in town. They didn't know I was at Ixnizzle here. We're all going to be here, but it'll be just a big family here. And we'll be playing golf on Thursday morning. Yeah. So it'll be lots of fun. So, yeah, I'll see you soon, my dude. Hell yeah. I love it. I didn't know you were coming. All right. I get it. I get where you're looking at. There's 2 dogs I haven't moved on. South Florida and Navy. 2 dogs I have not moved on. And for me, these games are normal for me to wait all week. Unless I just love something, I talk about it all the time, I'd rather see it through the week. As long as I'm not getting killed on a line. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's going some way. I think Miami is man, they've looked really, really good. But I'm super high on this South Florida team. But I just don't know their defense is there yet. And they look good for basically 3 quarters against Alabama, and they did the year before. But I think they're talented on offense. If they don't turn the ball over, I think this is the first game because Miami's played nobody. I've seen this every year. Miami goes 3 or 4-0, and I love Ward as well. I mean, he is great at Washington State, but he had some bad games when he hasn't had that yet. He's just looked like Superman out there, just throwing it around, running around. Looks like one of the top 5 quarterbacks in college, and he probably is. But I look the other way. I get why you under the 17 because the question marks of South Florida's defense just keep, I just keep thinking about it in this game. Even last week, Southern Miss put up 24 points, Mike, but I think they had a bunch more yards. Like they threw for 400 yards in that game. They ran for 90. Like holy shit! So they got to do something. They're at home. Yeah, this was like one of those dogs where what I see though from South Florida, that they can move on offense. I think, and all year last year I was impressed at times with that Miami defense, and they've looked good, but so far, but against nobody. And we talked about how bad Florida is. So we start to see in these week 3 or 4s where these teams have played cupcakes or teams are 3-0. So people just run to there and they're going to bet the 3-0 ATS team. I mean, I get it, but believe me, I've done that too. And this is the ripe week, this week, next week, where you'll get caught, where people just look and say, I'm going to bet it. This is a well team. They're kicking ass so far. They're 3-0, and you're going to get slapped. That's all I'm trying to say. Not in this game, exactly, but a little bit with this game.
Potential slapping.
Potential slapping. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Right, you got a couple more?
Let's go one more. Let's go. Let's talk about this big one here with Arch Manning getting himself in the game with Texas. UL Monroe, the old Warhawks.
Oh, that's the game you picked? All right. I have nothing on that game. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll throw this one out, and then you toss one out there you want to get into.
I'd lay it.
I'm taking the points. I'm taking 40
points. I'd lay it.
It's come down from 48. I get it. I love what Arch Manning's doing. I saw the run. His run time is faster than Tyreek Hill out there. He's got the assets that the.
Wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, they clocked him. They had
Stop it. He's not fucking fast. I know, but shut your mouth.
Strike me down if I didn't see it. It was unbelievable numbers. Now, I don't know what the circumstances look like that they clocked that thing, but it just feels like too many points. UL Monroe, I've been a perpetual fader of UL Monroe, but look, it's kind of not the same program. Now they got some NIL dollars. There's some money down there in that bayou here. We got some oil money coming in. 32-6 on UAB. Jackson State 30-14. Texas busting teams up, but how much do they give a shit about, especially after you lose your primary quarterback? How much do you want to go out there and throttle this team down? 45 points seems like too many.
My one issue with this was it's starting to get up too many.
Yeah.
Here. Like 33, whatever it was against UT the last few weeks. That was the lone thing I talked about on Monday. It's starting to get really high for Texas. But Monroe had a good win against UAB. I still think their Booty, as in General Booty, their quarterback. That's a great name. I liked Hendon Hooker the last few years with Tennessee. I mean, Hendon Hooker, I can go around. My dad told me, I said, he goes, that Hendon Hooker guy is great. He was telling me last year. He goes, but there was a guy in the 60s named Fair Hooker, and you can look him up. His name's Fair Hooker. He played in college. He played in the pros for the Browns. He's pretty good. Fair Hooker. Kind of an oxymoron there. But General Booty, great name. I think he could be Booty here. But I'm going to look to back Monroe later on this year, Mikey, with him and that team. UAB's really hit the shits. But, get it, my man.
What about Orgy? You didn't talk about Orgy coming in there. Who's Orgy? Who's Orgy starting for?
Orgy for Michigan? That's all right. Yeah, the Orgy name is pretty good.
Not a bad name.
General Booty is better. What's his first name again? Alex Orgy, right? Or
I think so.
What's his first name? Anyways, he's in now, for Michigan. But Fair Hooker.
Give us one more. Yeah, give us one of your favorites here that you got on the card for the weekend.
I got a few. A game that I haven't talked about anywhere that I'm on because it wasn't one of our games. I'm on Buffalo plus 14. Love this game 2 nights ago because we almost, like you said, we go through a lot of the games, almost most of them, Mikey, and then I go through about the 6 that we didn't, and then the extra board. This is too many points. This is La La Land love for Northern Illinois in a MAC conference game with them at home. Nothing's shown me, and Buffalo isn't very good at all. I don't love this Buffalo team, but I think they hang within the 2 touchdowns. Like Northern Illinois goes out there and wins by 4 touchdowns. I'll take that loss, but these teams are too closer than what this line is, just because of the Notre Dame game. So I'm on Buffalo there plus 14.
Not for nothing, but sandwich spot. NC State.
Yeah.
Deck here for Northern Illinois. Do they really Buffalo? And that to me seemed like trouble. Not to mention, you take a program in Northern Illinois, they get their biggest win of the entire
shit.
Right? You're going to Notre Dame and you beat these fuckers. And then you put them on ice for a week. Then you're like, all right, sit back. We're gonna give you a bye week. And then they got NC State on deck here. Easily could be a look ahead spot for this.
Northern Illinois, Buffalo, they're right now in a down year. But even when these teams played, when I backed Northern Illinois, they beat dogs to Buffalo years past, and they kicked the shit out of them. Buffalo's beat them 9 out of the last 10. I get maybe Northern Illinois wants this, but Northern Illinois won that. But all the games are tight. Sorry, they beat it 9 and 10, 33-27, 30-29.
Yep.
Yeah, 14-13. These games are tight. 2 touchdowns is wild. I got to take it.
Way too wide for a spot like that with Buffalo. And,
I agree.
Buffalo, if Northern Illinois gets that run game going, that could be problematic because the size differential between the D-line for Buffalo and the D-line for Northern Illinois could very well be an issue. But I think Northern Illinois is just trying to get out of this game with the win and get ready for NC State. Yeah, they got some time to prep. Do they come out early and bust up Buffalo?
Their defense is good, but is like Hampton going to be throwing it around the yard? Right. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I recorded that one as part of the Breaking the Huddle. Breaking the Huddle, C-Mac. I got the name right this time around. But look at, man, we got 10 minutes. Then we're going to get live for this NFL Thursday game. Come on through, my dude. We'll talk some more college football. I'd love to see what you have to say about some of these games I bet on there. But I always appreciate you rocking with us, brother. Always fun.
I will.
Cutting it up. Looks like we might spend some time Saturday morning cutting it up as well. But tell them what's going on, man. Tell them where they can find you.
Just go check out Hitting the Books YouTube channel. Type it in, Hitting the Books. Started from scratch, so we got to get it rolling. You know how it goes, Mike. You started this not too long ago. And yeah, we got that individual game clips up. And that's it. All will jump on later, too, with you.
Sounds good, man. It's going to be the Crew Sports Money Razor.
Shout out to the chat. I got to tell you, all you guys. Jerry, my guy, Guillermo. Yeah, Tawny, just 50-50. Can't wait. Nasty Nate's going to be here. Hell yeah. I didn't know you were coming. Resisting, Coin, Mel, Ron Crawford, as always, Trisha, Oldie, everyone in here, Flea Mathis, NJ Striker, everyone. Appreciate it, John, JT. Let's get to it, Mikey. Let's get the money. Let's have a day.
For the Sports Money Crew, for Connor, Miggity Mac, Daddy, for your boy Pimp Slap POD. Thanks for checking us out, you guys. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door. Get yourself some fresh cocktail. Get ready to come back in here. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. We're going to roll live and talk about this NFL game in some detail. Then we're going to give you guys all kinds of college football looks and everything else along the way. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to C-Mac. We'll see you guys soon.